Hello YouTubers, Tross here, and I'm continuing my first contract Kerbal space program playthrough, and I think we have someone to rescue in space, but let's check on our contracts. Alright, how you doing, Gene? So our current only active contract is to rescue Nelrie Kerbin. And has a pretty decent completion bonus, but no science attached to it. Let's see. Well, if we get into space, we can definitely transmit or recover scientific data. So let's accept that. LVT 45. This actually looks easy to achieve. The LVT-45 is the standard 200 thrust rocket with gimbaling, and it just wants us to test it on the launch pad. So if we actually use that as our first stage, or as part of our first stage, I think I'm going to accept that. Radial mount, liquid engine. Offhand, I'm not sure what the Mark 55 is, but that does have 14 signs attached with it. Test a Separatron. Okay, I would test this. Basically, in orbit, they want you to test it. Or really high atmosphere. But the speed is really low, and so that would... It's not something we're going to have as we're rescuing, because in orbit you're going to be traveling like 2,000. So they want you to be basically at a complete stop, nearly. At least... For all intents and purposes, that's at a complete stop in orbit. Test a stack decoupler while landed. That doesn't seem worth it. I'm not sure how you would test a basic jet engine while you're splashed down. But that is a lot of science. We have time to take that, though. Test a hydraulic detachment manifold while in orbit in a pretty narrow range. But that's a lot of science, and I think that's rather easy to do. I am going to take that. Alright, test Roxel Max brand decoupler. Also seems relatively easy to do, and we'll have a whole year. So let's take that as well. And the rest of these, I'm not even going to look at. So what do we have? Rescue Nelrie Kerbin. That's what I want to go for next. This looks... Well, it's got a decent financial reward. And we can gather science data. That shouldn't be a problem. Test. We can take off with one of these engines. It's basically not going to get us any money, but the 6 science will be nice. I think this is a radial coupler, basically. And this one is a linear. But they're both... Basically, if I can do both at 80 kilometers, I'll be getting a whole lot of science. And well, let's look at where Nelrie is. And hopefully he's about 80 kilometers. Nelrie Kerbin. He is not at 80. He is between 110 and 122. Apparently he's A-class size. Okay, well, I think I can still do that stuff. As I head up to his altitude, I can run the test. So let's build a rocket. Actually, as typical, let's overbuild a rocket. It's probably what I'll be doing anyway. What do we got? Oh, is that the... is that the decoupler we have to test? And then this one. Got a tricoupler. I was hoping we'd have a bicoupler at this point. Okay. How should I do this then? We're gonna try 3 for the price of 1. So this is what we're gonna come back with. at this point we don't have any adapters. We don't even have RCS. Okay, that'll make things a bit interesting. Alright. No speed here. No speed there. Great. Alright, so these are for the tests. You need to collect signs. This is a little lighter, but that'll be for collecting science. And just to be safe, I'm going to throw an extra 2 parachutes on. Because that's going to be on the bottom. I don't want it to hit into the ground and blow up. Okay, now for the overbuild part. Do I have any power generation yet? No. Alright, so just extra batteries. So we're going to need to do some maneuvers in space. And that'll take up some of our power. Actually, these are cheap. I'll stick them down there. And yeah, we should have plenty of power now. Okay, getting to space. The other thing we are testing is this LV-45 liquid fuel engine landed at Kerbin. LVT-45. That needs to be our first stage. To help us get up, we are going with four of these, and they are expensive, but I'm thinking that I can spare the expense if this goes well. And do we have struts? So I'm just gonna strut those for a little extra support so they don't wobble around. And I think this is mission 7 now. If I hit load. Alright, mission 8. Cancel. And of course I put that slightly off. Okay, I hope that's good. Mission 8. Save. First order of business is getting into orbit. This is going to be enough. I'm going to add another half tank here. It'll make our liftoff a little bit slower, but we'll have more fuel higher up. So getting into orbit, circularizing, and rendezvousing. So that's the plan. So let's carry it out now. Let's hit save once more. Crew. Let's give Bob this one. Okay. We don't need that right now. I think this is more important. Let's turn on SAS, and I'm not going to throttle up. I'm just going to launch here in 3, 2, 1. Alright, we got that. And actually, I'm going to throttle down now. Solids are getting low. I'm going to throttle up in just a second. Alright, throttling up. and I'm going to begin gravity turn, something like that. We are slowing down, but looks like we're leveling off now, and we should be picking up speed again. And again, this is a night launch, so a little hard to see. I'm going to try to keep the ship here. And let's pop open the map here. So right now our apoapsis is 32 kilometers and rising. We are picking up speed nicely, although almost out of fuel, which not what I had planned for, really. I had hoped that would get us at least into space before running out of the previous stage. So, turn over more. We need to pick up orbital speed now. Alright, that is just barely making orbit. .109 there, so. We are in space. I'm not sure if we have the delta V to circularize. I'm gonna say that we don't. Let's keep that data. At least we have science from space if we don't aren't able to circularize. Okay, I think we hit orbit. Somewhat. We have an apoapsis of 75 kilometers. We have a few seconds of fuel left. Literally. We are not going to rescue Nelrie on this launch. What I would like to do, though, is be able to jettison these and get the science for it. That means we'd have to get up to approximately 80 kilometers. So let's warp here. Have a nice sunrise. Yeah. So we're re-entering the atmosphere. Trying to. Okay. I just want that to go up to 80. But not 82. Well, I could do 82. That should be fine. And that's only 5 meters per second. Which we actually should have more than enough. Assuming we don't... Well, we're still in the very thin part of the atmosphere, so we should not be slowed down more than a few meters per second. Problem is, because we're in the atmosphere, we can't normally warp. So I am going to put on physics warp just for a little bit. And when we get close, I'm going to come out of physics warp. Can we go for 4x? Turn off SAS. So it's not using anything at the moment. Alright. So it has slowed us down a little bit. Alright, we need to go to something like 15 meters per second. Alright. I'm going to go to the map. Come on, I just want to pop that up real quick. Alright, we're going to flip around here. Plenty of fuel. Actually going to bring this up to 84 or 85. Because it's going to drop a bit. I don't even know where I'm going to come down. And at this point, I don't think it really matters. So my plan is to hopefully keep my apoapsis above 80, above the height for both of these. Does this not count because oh, this is going to be painful. Alright, not that bad. I need to raise my periapsis up. Oh. Okay. I can test the hydraulic detachment manifolds. But I don't think I can test this. These I can eject and I'll still have my rocket on. So then I can slow to a deorbital or suborbital trajectory and re-enter the atmosphere and eventually slow down. If I eject this though, I have to do it while I'm in orbit, but ejecting it won't get me out of orbit, and then I'll be stuck in orbit because I don't have any other rockets. How am I doing? Alright, I'm still above. Let's time warp here. We're basically running on fumes. So I need to get around to my apoapsis. That will have it be the least amount of fuel to raise my periapsis. And once I have raised it, I will decouple these side ones and then basically plan for a landing at some site. I don't care where, really. I will complete hopefully 3 of the contracts. I guess that... Oh, that is the flag we planted, and we are over Kerbal Space Center right now. Let's just make sure everything is... Alright, 5 minutes. Actually, I can go back to normal time warp and warp a lot quicker. We're fine on electric charge. Alright, 30 seconds. Let us get all lined up. These 3 capsules together have plenty of torque. I'm just going to start burning lightly now. And keep an eye on my fuel. Okay, we are in orbit. So we are going to test the hydraulic manifolds once we're below 81. Let's get rid of that. Alright, if that's Kerbal Space Center, we could add a maneuver there. That would get us relatively close. Not sure if we have that much delta V, though. And, alright, I'm going to fast forward until we get to, well, 82 or so. I don't need to use physics time warp. We are in orbit. We can just use the normal time warp. Three. 82, and then as soon as this goes green, I'm going to press spacebar once. And we are green. theoretically I could test this now, but if we did, I don't think that would slow us up enough. Alright, in 3 minutes, we need to fire the rockets, slope about 50 meters per second, and then I'm going to decouple. Actually, well, I wonder how orbit has to be. Wondering if I should go for it, just slow down now. I'm gonna try that. Oh, it says we're out of orbit already. And we're out of fuel already. So let's decouple. Yeah, that only changed our speed by like 0.2. Well, we weren't able to slow down as much as we wanted. So we're going to be a little high. But we were early. So... yeah, I don't know. I don't know where we'll land relative to where we wanted to land. But until we enter the atmosphere, I think I'm just going to time warp. And I noticed time warping set my throttle to 0. Which apparently is a change. Alright, we are beginning to enter the atmosphere. Basically, we're at a pretty shallow angle. We probably won't get any... well, we'll get slowing down, but not really significant. But hopefully it'll be enough to pull this back in. Real slowing down doesn't really start until you're under 30 kilometers or so. Just gonna do physics warp until we're down to about maybe 45 or so. Looks like we got Minimus, the moon, and our debris all in one shot. Crew report. No, it's not worth anything at this point. Whatever. Interesting, that moonlight reflecting off the water. Alright, we're getting lower in the atmosphere now. Let's turn off SAS. Because at this point, we don't have as much power as we did. And I'm going to go back to time warp of 1. Still have 5 parachutes. Okay, we have actually slow down enough that we are going to hit the water. That's actually good, because I was, yeah, we were going pretty shallow. Going through a lot of atmosphere, I should have realized. I'm not really sure what the numbers are, but usually I try to land a quarter of the globe away, and aim for about 30 kilometers when I do that. I guess we were at 37, but we were half the globe away, so obviously in the atmosphere for a lot longer, so you slow down a lot more. The only thing that has me concerned is basically going nose first here, but I pop the parachutes. That should flip us around. Actually, looks like we're continuing to slow. I think we're actually gonna... Well, I don't know where we're gonna land. We're close to where the pyramids are. At least that's where it is right now. It's probably even gonna shorten up from that. Yeah, so we're gonna be about a quarter way around the globe. Oh, here we go. Getting re-entry effects, or at least the appearance of them. They don't actually affect anything. At least currently. I'm sure that will change in the future. So coming in pretty shallow, so alrighty, it's a little hard to see where we are on the map. But yeah, I think we're landing well short of the pyramids. I think they're up in those mountains that are on the horizon there. I'm going to pop the parachutes in just a second here at 10,000. And let's try flipping around. Oh, that's no good. Hopefully we'll change orientation when the parachute's fully open. Come on. Okay, wow. Alright, will we be stable? Come on, flip around. I guess the radial attached parachutes actually have more drag. Yep, turn on SAS. Hold that orientation. We are coming in nice and slowly. So I don't think we'll have any risk of destroying our science. So we'll get a third contract done. Let's, well, I'm not sure the altitude of the ground, and there's no shadow to look at. Yeah, so I don't want to risk, we're almost down now. Okay, we are down. Tumbled over, but we are down. Let us recover. Okay, so we have 3 contracts complete. Crew report, no science. We got 25 science from the material study and 3 science from the recovery of the vessel. We got a lot back in command pods, but stack tricoupler, parachutes. Yeah. Very small slice of the ship came back. And we got Bob back. So let's look at these contracts. Well, we got 1 extra science for gathering science, but we got a lot of funds. Got good science from this, and good funds, and good reputation. We're almost in the next color there. And we got a little bit of science, and basically nothing for anything else. So we have 80 science now, so we can unlock hopefully some more parts that will help us reach orbit this time, or rescue. Well, this is going to take 45 science. Now we have just 35, and everything else takes more science. Okay, Well, I think we can slightly redesign that ship and get a rescue going. So basically, have 2 contracts. Rescue and test this guy out. This will be our final stage for deorbiting. And we will, just to be safe, throw 2 parachutes on it. This will be our stage for rendezvousing, and then, well, rendezvousing, and then getting in position to test this. We need more power. I thought I unlocked stuff. Why don't I see? Where's those R&D guys? Where's that fuel tank?
Oh, mm-hmm.
Just checking the contracts. See if anything new has popped up that is test and launch stability enhancer. Yeah. Test a stack decoupler landed. It's basically not worth it. Poodle engine. Skipper engine. Alright. There it is. I don't know why I wasn't seeing it before. To prevent wobbles, we're gonna tie these together. Stability enhancer. Well, I'll put you on last. They're relatively cheap. Alright, this should give us more thrust. Yep, it's in the ground. So we should be able to get into orbit on just these, I think. Problem is we're heavier now, so these boosters won't take us up as high. Alright, let's see if we can get Nelrie from orbit. And of course I didn't look at my staging at all. So let's do that briefly now. And I am also going to put these engines down here. This engine, that's the test after. This engine. Okay. That's the staging we want. And, alright, that's going to work all on its own. And then we don't have to worry about this until we have Nelrie on board. So let's go in 3, 2, 1, lift off. Throttling up to full, so we're going to need the help all the help we can get. Starting a gravity turn. And hopefully we're at half fuel now. Hopefully we're traveling faster, so we won't have to burn as long. We should be way over at this point. And that's way too high. That looks good. And the problem is we are going to run out of fuel. At least in this stage, before that burn is completed. How'd I get a big one there? I wasn't even looking. I wanted a smaller. Oh well. Yeah. Oh, that's too low. 15, 60, 73. Okay. This keeps moving around. Alright, we got a 10-second burn. We definitely have that much fuel. Accidentally hit the Windows key there. Hopefully that did not interrupt the recording. Let's warp around. That's the warp I want. Okay, we are in orbit, and we have lots of fuel, or at least plenty to do what we need to do. So add a maneuver here. Well, this episode's actually gone on longer than I expected. So we'll come back next time and try to match orbits with Nelrie Kerbin and rescue him. But until then, I'll see you guys then, and thanks for watching. And I'll catch you guys next time.